It's broken. Can you understand what he's saying?
I'm not a protocol droid.
I'm pretty sure that Beep is down.
I sense Count Dooku is above us.
Oh, yes, you're right. Beep is up. I think.
Doing so I might as well just come in here, goddamn tank topped out of my mind. Now,
wait,
Whatever
you got your
floats
tank
your
top on
boat.
now?
no.
Whatever floats your boat.
Let me turn on this room light so I can not have these stage lights blasting in my face.
Cause no shade, I don't see it for the old man.
I guess we gonna find out.
Cause I felt the way. But
About what did he do? What did this black?
Wait, keep it for the episode.
First of all, what's up, everybody? It's us, Mold Diversity, back again with your audio goodness. We want y'all to listen to our dulcet tones, our relaxing words and such before we launch into Star Wars stuff. You know how it is. You already see the names up there, so you know who's all here and who ain't here, and who is always gonna be here and won't drink a beer. And so, so yeah, we talking about Obi-Wan. The series has just wrapped up all the way, and you know. Some originally thought it was going to be a series finale, but they sneakily changed it to season finale. So who knows?
It needs to stay a series.
And yeah, let's go back and launch into it.
I like how y'all talk some junk to me because I said what I said, but Aaron up here talking about it should have stayed in a series. Like,
I mean, I agree, but I agree for positive reasons. I don't. It's not because of what.
I agree too for positive reasons. I'm not saying what I said was a bad thing.
Well, let's get further into it because you didn't really. I had to jump into the intro, but please expound.
I'm not gonna expound on it right now because I think that's gonna be like the ending of the conversation because I feel like I do like him up until a certain point. Like I said, I do. I feel like I know what they did with the character Obi-Wan. I appreciate the storytelling. I appreciate the PTSD of him dealing with his emotions after everything that he's been through. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Well, I'll just keep mine's Bulma briefs for the moment and say that I thought this to me was exactly what I wanted from this type of story involving Obi-Wan in terms of where he started at the journey, how his reluctancy and his weakness in the Force was a product of his failure on Mustafar in stopping Anakin / bringing him back to the light side. And I liked how the show slowly but surely brought him back into a more proactive role in its culmination. Reva was awesome, and I'll get into more of that later. And I would say that opinions I may have expressed about where the show is going, I am glad to say that I was wrong about that, and that even though there were some similarities, albeit intentionally, out of Kathleen Kennedy's mouth, that was some things that I might expound on again. But other than that, I will say that I was thoroughly enthused, and I fucks with it the long way.
Yeah, I think the show was great. Like it did what it was supposed to do. You know, pretty much showing Obi-Wan, you know, getting older and realizing, that what he went through, what he saw was it was devastating. Like watching someone that he practically raised, that's like a son / brother to him, like become evil. That's a very difficult thing to see. It's like someone with an addiction. It's like watching someone with an addiction. Like you try to help them, but at the end of the day, you can't. And Obi-Wan having to deal with those consequences, and him, finally realizing that he can't just step aside anymore. Like he has to do something about it because he sees the damage that this person that he, loved, respected, admired, even, is a force of evil. And I thought that was just really interesting to see, because we get deeper into his character and it was great character development.
Eh, it's alright. I kid.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say
kind of
because the a
a kid.
conversation we had earlier, I was gonna say, wait, whoa. So you told me you sold me a bill of goods.
Kind of like how Lucasfilms usually does. Um, I am mostly thrown off by the fact that this man next door decided to wait 10 hours to mow his yard just out of the blue because wasp. I don't know. I don't know. Obi-Wan was good. Should have been a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 seasons. We focusing on a new season. I don't know what we're gonna do. Um, season finale did its job. It should have been a series finale. I mean, like, it's a perfect bookend, like every good Star Wars story usually is. But much like this man wanting to do his yard all of a sudden out of the blue, I guess sometimes you just have to go completely off of impulse, huh? Yeah. Yep, I'm trying to be so nice. I'm trying to be so nice about this. I promise. I promise. I'm on my best behavior. I am.
I'm trying to figure out if it would have been a movie. Like,
I feel like it would have been perfect as a movie. Like, I mean,
right? I think it would have.
or part two. Like, it could be a two-parter. Like,
Yeah,
I
like a
think that
TV, like Disney Plus. That like they could have did their first TV series movie with it, like a TV movie.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that if you would have made it a movie, I think that you cut the Grand Inquisitor from it and completely, because he was fucking useless in it. Let's be honest.
Wait,
If,
cut
if you cut
him.
if you cut that whole Grand Inquisitor subplot, you maybe um speed through what would you speed through? I
You
would
can't
say
cut that though, because if you cut that, then she
I
wouldn't
say
have.
I say cut him completely from the film. I say that the other Inquisitor dude, I forget what number he is. Acts as her foil just as well. Grand
So is that
Inquisitor.
him instead of the other?
Yeah, I personally think having Grand Inquisitor there, that was a stupid move by Lucas to probably have a shocking moment in there. But, and this is something that I've said previously about other Star Wars properties, that shouldn't have happened because when it comes to Star Wars, and people will disagree, but fuck them, you need to protect these Black, Hispanic, Asian actors in Star Wars because the people who call themselves fans will use any and all things to attack them. And I say, and plus, since he literally didn't have any impactful role in the story to begin with, just take out that whole thing with Reva, quote unquote, stabbing, killing him, and just you still keep the plot, you still keep the motivation, her actions, and whatnot. You know, I also would say you can cut out most of the dialogue with the alien dude when they make it to the planet and whatnot. I think you can just maybe have not Luke and Leia, Obi-Wan and Leia land on that planet, and then probably have the stormtroopers immediately get them, and then introduce Tala earlier, and maybe spend more time fleshing her out. And then, yeah, I think you can, cutting those two things down, I think that would be a perfect runtime for a movie. About nice 2.5 hours Obi-Wan movie, and you got Bob's your uncle.
Mm-hmm.
That was me getting a little specific. I'm sorry.
no, that's
Yeah, he's spitting the real. It's like literally the perfect pitch for what this could have been.
Because a lot of it did feel like deleted scenes that are kept in that would be kept in a movie. Like they're not important or anything like that. It's just nice to have.
Mhm.
And like I genuinely think that that type of stuff would be left out on the cutting room like it should be. Um let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all have liked to see Reva in a movie setting? If this was a movie, not
Oh,
a
hell yeah.
part, would
Oh,
y'all like to have seen Reva's motivation revealed to us first, or would you have been content with how they did it as a late?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just how it was, like, especially at the beginning with the scene where they show, the temple, the younglings being killed from her perspective. I figure like if you watch a trailer and and you just pay attention, like, that black girl was Reva. Like, you could just, well, for me, well, at least for me, I could tell, like, going in, I could tell, oh yeah, that's her, like, that has to be her. And I feel like if they did that, like, it really wouldn't have made a difference. But I feel like if they would have gone from that scene to the Jedi Temple to the Inquisitors, landing on Tatooine, like going straight to her face, I mean, it really, that way we know that was her. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it wouldn't really made a difference if they did it then or if they did it, like when when they did it, like, what, episode 5, like, yeah, in episode 5 when she told Opie her story before they attacked.
Hmm.
And if they did keep it, the way I would make it a shock factor is I wouldn't have shown the younglings being killed at the beginning. That way they wouldn't have gave it away, because that's what gave it away. Like, if they didn't show that part, I would be like, oh, what? What? She was at the temple the night Anakin attacked? What? Like, that would have been more of a shock factor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't like if that plot point wasn't like a movie setting, I wouldn't even have it shown. I would literally like have her talk to Obi-Wan just like later in the movie about her past experience, and then as she keeps talking, she's revealing more and more, and you're like, oh shit, that's what this is all about. And that's kind of in spirit with Star Wars about the big shock reveals and stuff. But then again, what do we know about storytelling? Man,
We know a whole lot about storytelling, I think.
Period.
We dissect it and be able to actually have a decent conversation about it. I enjoyed her though. Like,
that's
I
character.
would
She's
love
like
to
one
see
of the
her.
best.
Right. And
would
all the
love her.
haters, all the Reva haters can go. Y'all know where y'all can go.
Oh yeah, straight to hell. I see it. Straight to hell in a sandbox in your eyes.
Like some razor blades and lemon juice.
Right. I enjoyed her though. I really would love to see her in the movies. And then I don't know. I wish that they would just go ahead and just say that she's getting the spinoff and it can just be for her. And see what she could do post everything that she's been through since she's had her resolution and everything like that.
Well, Mike, streets are saying that's what's going to happen. She is going to get her spinoff series, but what it's about, I don't know personally. And this is a shot in the dark, but I would not be surprised if Reva shows up in Ahsoka. I genuinely would not, because maybe just maybe, because Luke in this, and to specify what I said earlier, when Lucasfilm was talking about some of the scenes and moments in Obi-Wan, they were referring to a lot of Jedi Fallen Order callbacks and references and moments that are similar, and they said that was a intentional type. That was intentional. That was something that they are going to do now to point out that there's other things in Star Wars media and whatnot. And there's a rumor going around that Cameron Montgomery, who, if you know him from Gotham fame, and he was in Jedi Fallen Order, that he has signed on to play his character Cal Kestis in live action. So I say all of this because maybe they might use Reva in either a Shadows of the Empire type deal, where she plays like a pseudo Mara Jade role, where she was a part of the Empire, but now she's not, and now she's following her own path. And maybe that puts her on a path with Ahsoka or the Crimson Dawn, because we still don't know if Ahsoka is going to be set purely after the Mandalorian, or if it might jump back and forth between the Rebels time period and the post Mandalorian time period. Or they might do what I think, and this is a shot in the dark, but I hope it's true, a Force Unleashed type situation where they like really use her experience to probably make her a strong Force user. And who knows?
Yes.
Lead to. So that's what I would like to do.
Please. No, that I was gonna say, like, I would honestly have something with her just being like the new protagonist of some sort of Star Wars series, because like that right there is probably the best idea. Jesus, that's a good idea. Yeah, like that's new, that's fresh, that's man. Yeah, okay, I don't need to say too much. There's a good idea there, and
we want fresh ideas. We want something good for the homies in the girly. Give us storytelling. Give us good CGI. Give us heartfelt moments.
Give us new characters that aren't the Skywalkers.
Right? Are we ready to talk about?
Now I will say, like, I loved little Leia in this show. Like, I loved her. Like, she was great. She had every aspect of Leia down to the T, and and just seeing the difference of how her and Luke grew up. Like, I wouldn't mind, trying to figure out, okay, well, what were they doing between the time they were 10 years old to the time that A New Hope started. Like, I'm now seeing that. Now I'm curious, like, what were they doing during that time?
Yeah, I would like to see that as well. Like, what are they, especially like their teenage years? Like, what are they doing? Like you said, what are they learning anything about what is happening and how it's affecting, especially with them coming from two different backgrounds? How is it affected their thought process as they grow up?
Mm-hmm.
Leia being in this royal family, and then Luke being there where he is, like everything that's going on in the galaxy. How does it form their minds?
Yeah, because it would have to have Leia as like the stronger protagonist, because you'd have to see how she goes from like this just regular princess to a political prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Can I point something out that was a pet peeve of mine that people were, in my opinion, unfairly critiquing about this very subject, about these two characters? How everyone was tripping over each other to yell, "This breaks canon, this breaks canon, this breaks canon," about little Leia and little Luke, when in reality this show is probably the most canon protective of all the post prequel, hell, I'll even say post sequel trilogy Star Wars content we've gotten, because everything they did literally leads into decisions, if not foreshadow decisions, that each of the twins make. Leia's goddamn determination, her ability to used the Force to read people for filth, showing that her Force sensitivity was always there and that she always had that in her and the capability to do that. Her resourcefulness, her loyalty to people that, needed help and things like that, her unbreakable will,
And I want to see. I want to see when she gets her blaster. Since they're like, no, you're 10 years old, you don't need a blaster. Like, I wonder where does she get hers from? Like when she in the New Hope. Like, I'm curious now.
I keep telling folks, just make and all of these things will be solved if they do a Leia show and all of that, but nobody listens to me. And with Luke, even with the little time he had in the show, basically the last episode and a couple of scenes in the first, they still, with the few we see of him, we see the hopefulness of what Luke eventually brings to when it comes to the original trilogy. And we see how the show doesn't necessarily drop all of the Jedi Sith stuff on his lap in the beginning, because he's knocked out, so he can't see who's chasing him and whatnot. And even then, before then, he says his line, one of his most famous lines in the original trilogy, "I'm not afraid," showing his headstrongness and how he can sometimes put himself over his head. So I think that this show basically did the best job of showing what type of characters Luke and Leia will be when we inevitably meet them by the time of A New Hope.
And I agree, because I just want to say I'm glad that they focus more on Leia and Obi/Ben's relationship as opposed to him and Luke's relationship. Because at the beginning, when her dad, when Leia gets kidnapped, and her dad is like, "Hey, I need your help to find her." He's like, "No, I got to focus on the boy. I'm keeping eyes on the boy." He's like, "She's just as important as him." And I'm like, "Thank you. Finally, someone said it. Like, Leia is just as important as Luke when it comes to them saving the galaxy. Because if it wasn't for her, him and Han would be toast." And I just appreciated that, they're like, Leia had the screen time that she had. She deserved it. The character just in general deserved it.
Let's not skirt around it no more. Mike, you said that you wanted to get into it about Mr. Obi-Wan and whatnot.
Wait, I was gonna say. Wait, did I say what I was gonna say something about Leia, but yeah, I'm here for all that. You done threw me off when you said that.
Okay, you said something about Leia first?
No, you threw me off, but it's cool. What was we talking about?
We were pivoting.
No, I know we was talking about Leia because Avia had made her point, but it's the way she had ended it. I was about to go in, and then Q was like, "Well," I was like, I lost what I was about to say.
Avia's final point, and please jump in to correct me if I get any of it wrong, Avia, was that you were glad that the show emphasized the importance of Leia and how cooked everybody would have been without her, and that you're glad that this show emphasized just how great she was when, that her greatness was there from the beginning and not in moments where we necessarily didn't see it or after the original trilogy, right? That's correct? All right.
Yes.
Bet. Keep it moving.
So, okay, let's keep it moving.
Because I can't remember how I was really gonna say what I was gonna say. Like, literally, when you said Obi-Wan, I instantly saw red.
Okay, then get into it. That's the next thing.
No, I'm good.
But that we talking about the show, so
that's like I don't have nothing to say about that old man. Like, like that old man is an old man, and I don't care about that old man no more.
Okay, so let's talk about why. Let's compare.
That's your old man.
But this is so. Because nothing.
And I can't stand him.
Is it because of what
you want to get big and bad at the end? I'm like, girl.
So I know what this is about, ladies.
I'm like, and I'm not mad about. Time out. I'm not mad about Vader like losing. No, that's the least of my worries, because what I like about that whole scene is the emotions behind Obi-Wan and Anakin having that moment of clarity of, you know, like the line that you want to go ahead and quote, if you want to go ahead and quote it. You're not gonna quote it.
He said, "I will do what I must," and then Vader said, "You will die." That's the first one, right? Or are you talking about after the fight?
I was talking about after.
Oh,
But like when that moment happens, I realize I'm like, yo, I can't be so mad at Obi-Wan that, he levels up in this matchup and everything like that, because Anakin / Vader, he is a little headstrong. He gets a little ahead of himself. And as I was watching, I was like, slow down. You know how he is, like he gonna hit you with a combo piece. And before I can say combo piece, he hit him in his chest, and I was like, child, it's over. I was like, it's
Give him that good
over.
one
And
too. Give him that good
I
one
mean,
too.
when he turned around and hit him with the backside of his saber and punched him with his elbow, I said, child, I said, just lay down, Vader.
Lay down.
Because it like he had, by that time, Obi had built up his strength with the Force and was able to, use it correctly. Because I mean, for me, one of my favorite things about storytelling is showing a character at their lowest moment, no matter if they're a villain or a hero. We saw him at the opening. He could not use the Force because he was so stressed out or so dealing with everything in his head. So to see that gradually grow throughout the series, I mean, I feel like the first time that he actually used it was when they was in the hallway and he was holding the damn glass and it was breaking against the water and everything. But for him to have that final moment, that final battle with him in this series, and him being able to use it well, I can't do nothing but give him his flowers. I mean, I can't stand the old man, but
why can't you? Why
Yeah.
can't you stand? Because I feel like
I honestly do not know. I don't know. It's like as I watched the series, I was uninterested in him, and there's just no shade. Like you can't show me Anakin / Darth Vader the whole time and expect me to put my eyes on Obi-Wan's story, even though this is his show, and then you give me Reva, and it's like I don't know. I was uninterested, and but it doesn't take away from his character development, because I enjoy the development of him. Like, from the beginning to the end, having that moment, using the Force, and, really coming back into who he is. I'm not taking that away. I guess for me, I'm a little selfish when it comes to who is my favorite and who I like and who I'm interested in. That's just how that cookie crumbles on that situation. I don't need a season 2. I would be more interested in, Miss Lady. I would be more interested in what happens with her than, because what's gonna happen with him, And plus, I'm watching an animated series right now too, so it's a lot in my head that I'm processing. So it's just a lot to take in.
Yeah. And can I say that scene that Obi and Vader are fighting, like when Obi slices his helmet with the lightsaber, we see Anakin's face. Like, oh my god! Just how like menacing Hayden looked in the makeup. It's like, especially when the red hit his face. It's like,
It was
oh my
amazing.
god! And then when like the voice kept going in and out between his
Oh
and
God, girl, I was in
oh
tears.
my
I ain't
god!
gonna lie. I was in tears. I was like, not you got my boy sitting up here wheezing, and he had him wheezing, coughing, struggling, shook, panicking.
Like that's like when I tell you, it brought me back to Revenge of the Sith when Anakin is on the fire planet and he turns his head.
Okay.
It reminded me of that. Like that's exactly what it reminded me of, and just seeing it, I'm like, oh my god.
What?
Like this is what Star Wars is about. Like this is it.
It's the callback. So like, I mean, I hate that I was spoiled, because I think I'm on season 3 of the Clone Wars, and I don't think it's happened yet. But I saw people lining up how Akosha sliced off, I guess, the other side of his helmet, and then
That's in
Obi-Wan.
Rebels.
Huh?
That's
That's
in
in
Rebels.
Rebels. See, I haven't watched Rebels, so that's the thing. I'm trying to catch up on animated series. So the fact that I know that's coming, I, I
So
nah,
that
listen, I ain't even gonna say what I want to say because I feel like I would. I think I'm gonna like her more than I like Obi-Wan.
I mean,
I see that. I see
yeah,
that. Like,
Yeah, she's more
Ahsoka's
likable.
everybody's favorite character. When they
Literally.
I saw people who say that Ahsoka is the most important Star Wars character since Luke, and that's I 100% agree because Ahsoka is the outlier. She's the combination of Obi-Wan and Anakin's perspective of the Clone Wars, and Obi-Wan's commitment and belief in the Jedi Order, but Anakin's emotions and ability to see past what the Jedi Order is. But unlike Anakin and Obi-Wan, she was able to walk away from it all and understand that what the Jedi was not what they were meant to be. But she didn't go so far as Anakin did and so you'd be fall to the dark side because, well, she wasn't manipulated for all of her life. So she was able to discern that. And then after the fall of the Jedi, be able to still fight for the light side. But since we're on that particular scene, and I just now realized what quote Mike wanted me to say was when Obi-Wan was apologizing to Anakin, and that hit hard because that was one of the things I always wanted to see in the moment where he and Vader would fight again, and Obi-Wan being able to tell Anakin that I was wrong for everything about it. I should have been a better brother to you when the Clone Wars was happening, making you feel making sure you didn't feel alone, that you could come to him. And that hit hard. And then when Vader said, and I knew it was coming, but I just wasn't prepared for it when he sat back and he said, I am not your failure, Obi-Wan, which has a double meaning. He's not Obi-Wan's failure of a Padawan, Anakin, and he's also not Obi-Wan's cross to bear because Obi-Wan didn't kill Anakin. Darth Vader killed Anakin because that's a part of the Sith's religion. When a light side user gets seduced to the dark side, it's not them anymore. They are spiritually killed, and the Sith Lord takes that person's place. And so it's not. And so when Obi-Wan says, and this breaks my heart every fucking time I hear it, and I've rewatched it like 8 times since yesterday, because we're recording it a day after the episode came out. He says, then my friend is truly dead. That just like Falcon punched my fucking soul, because just the weight of that the weight that not only did Obi-Wan fail Anakin, but he wasn't even the thing that killed him. It was Darth Vader. It was something that he couldn't even save Anakin from. Like that final hopelessness. And I guess also a contentment that he didn't have to kill Vader because he didn't have to correct his mistake. It was gone. It's just that there was nothing left for him there. He was able to finally leave and just walk away, turn off his lightsaber, and not commence with the fight, which is one of the key things that they teach with one of the true Jedi ways. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks.
That's deep.
Yep.
That's really deep. Damn.
And that's all I was thinking.
He always comes through with the knowledge, and that's why I appreciate bro like that because he really loves this type of stuff, and he knows he really knows the history and knows the facts. So when he say stuff like that, it ain't nothing but speechless. Like after that, because he said what he said, he meant what he said.
Because it's like and Mike, you'll realize it like the further and deeper you get into Clone Wars and whatnot. But like, it's the fact that, man, I don't want to bring this up because this is a spoil. Do you care if are you care for a light spoiler that you have.
I don't care about spoilers. I mean, I enjoy content on my own time when I'm free.
Facts. So basically, towards the end, when Ahsoka inevitably ends up leaving the Jedi Order for one reason or another, and I don't even think this scene ended up making it into when they brought back the Clone Wars when Disney Plus launched. It was one of the work print scenes. But basically, Anakin and Obi-Wan are having a conversation about it. And Obi-Wan is basically telling Anakin, don't beat himself up for it. It's not his fault. It was Ahsoka's choice. And then Anakin tells Obi-Wan, he's like, so how would you feel if I failed you? If I just left and just basically made everything we went together pointless? And Obi-Wan says, good thing. Well, I don't think about it because I know that day will never come. And it just destroys me because you know what happens. You know that that's not true. And it's like it tells you exactly Obi-Wan's feelings about Anakin is that even through all of their rough patches and Anakin's ways, there was never a point in Obi-Wan's mind where he didn't believe in Anakin, where his belief in him faltered. And I know episode 3 is also a good case study of that, but just to know that at no point did Obi-Wan ever think Anakin would fall to the dark side, and his commitment to him it just hurts so much. So when he says that my friend is truly dead, it just lifts you above his head and breaks your back and your soul. And I just am going to stop talking about it before I get even more sad because, man.
Well,
When y'all do them long pauses, that makes it so.
No, like
wrap that. I mean, because you,
Right.
I mean,
Wrap
you
it up.
basically
Wrap it up.
like you be saying what you say, and it's just like
damn.
that's just what it is. I mean,
Right.
it is what it is. Wrap it up in a bow, and let's talk about as far as the future of these series and TV. I saw this post, and I'm gonna make this thought real quick, and I'm gonna see how y'all think. But I saw this post, and it was talking about the future shows and everything in the movies that are coming out. I knew Mr. Thor was gonna be making a movie, but I did not know Kevin Feige was gonna be making a Star Wars movie. But I think that is quite interesting because what I wish that they would do is be heavy on the series and make their movies be big events. But let it be, let the series be cohesive or coexistent with the movies that are coming out. But I feel like it's kind of crazy that they got Kevin Feige because I feel like he has done that already with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., learned this lesson with that and all the other shows. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to play out with his Star Wars movies. But how do y'all feel about the future that is coming with the shows and movies and the directors that have been chosen?
I feel like they're going in a really good direction. So far, the shows at least that I've seen are pretty long. It's definitely one of this type of storytelling is definitely Star Wars best because you can lay everything out a little bit longer. Develop the story. Have a really good story to go with it, and I feel like they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, they're headed in the right direction. I'm definitely looking forward to them expanding the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and taking it out of its, kind of taking it out of its element where it's just focused on, like I said earlier, the Skywalker saga, but not in a polarizing way where they just want to piss everybody off just because they can, but like actually, a thoughtful, well thought out story. Like I'm looking forward to some good sci-fi. That's what this is. Some good sci-fi.
Right. I really just want to see more of the universe of Star Wars, especially with me still trying to catch up on things, watch things. There's a couple comics and books that I want to read as well that I've been, looking at. So I'm just intrigued on moving away from the, moving away from what we know and show me things that we haven't seen. Like, no, Shay, give me some more underwater, like the underwater scene that we saw in Kenobi. I would love to see some more of that. But yeah, give me something fresh, something new.
Yeah, I as far as Kevin and Taika go, I don't think nothing gonna come out of their Star Wars stuff or anything. Judging by this Thor: Love and Thunder clip I saw today, that looks like a goddamn SNL skit. I definitely don't care for what he could do with Star Wars. As far as Kevin goes, I think that's going to be chalked up to a piece of Star Wars trivia, as in what executive had a Star Wars movie in play but eventually backed out of it. So I don't know. I would honestly say there's a better chance of good old Patty Pat's X-Wing movie still coming out than fucking either of those guys' Star Wars content really materializing. If I'm being completely honest, the more I talk, the more I think that they might. I mean, they might make the Obi-Wan series sequel a movie. They might do that if people like us. Like we said, the series just wrapped this week, so we don't know what the further conversations will be, around it. I know folks have been saying a Darth Vader's solo stuff. I personally don't want that because we literally have, just from a canon's perspective, we literally have 6 movies, 2 TV shows, several video games, and comics of his stuff. And I don't really see too much to tread on that story. I say give us a Darth Maul movie first, since he's still alive and they like doing shit with Maul. What is, besides Patty's goddamn Aviator movie, what else is Star Wars? And
Ryan Johnson's trilogy.
Y'all still think that's gonna happen? Do we really think that's gonna happen?
No, but it's fun to joke about. I mean, they got that the Acolyte series. That's the only one that I care about. Damn, Star Wars. Let's look up the slate because it's out there. It's totally out there. Oh, they're doing a Lando series.
That's something that Kathleen said is predicated on when good old Gambino is available, which will probably be now.
All right. Pan Pig Detective Agency. No, that's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, right? It's totally a joke. Oh, The Bad Batch. Yeah, that's the one I remember. Bad Batch. Rangers of the New Republic. And a droid story. Yeah, it's
so yeah, a bunch of nothing.
It's man, Star Wars.
I mean,
I can't.
No, I guess I'll say. I mean, for me personally, when it comes to like the Mandalorian and even this show, right? I've been in Ahsoka. Like, I'm looking forward to Star Wars content. I'm not burnt out because these are characters and things I want to see followed up on personally. To be quite honest with you guys, and I'm just gonna be 100. The next movie should be a follow-up on the sequel trilogy characters. We should not move away from them. They were given a bad deal, and that needs to be rectified before anything else. I know there's a lot of other things happening with Star Wars now that people are fans of. High Republic, post original trilogy, all of that jazz. Even a little bit more time before A New Hope. But personally, for me, I want that. That's the only thing I care about. I'm not ready to invest in a new set of characters just yet.
I'm
cut that out. Somebody, whoever was recording, cut what I just said out.
Wait, cut what out?
I say don't keep that
because somebody.
No, because I mean, you said what you said, but I feel
I know me saying what the fuck is this because
keep it.
I just said that
I was just gonna respond in response to him saying, the sequel trilogy. I would like that, but are they gonna do that? I feel like those actors have moved on and moved past what. I feel like they've moved past that, especially with the pandemic and everything. I mean, it would be nice to have them come back, but at this point, it's like what you're doing for your series are good, and I feel like I feel like they could really rectify a lot of stuff with this series, and that's why I said I feel like it's kind of crazy that they have Kevin on here on the staff because I feel like they're gonna try to pinpoint him to do what did I say earlier? I feel like Kevin gonna franchise the hell out of goddamn Star Wars.
But my only pushback is that Star Wars don't need Kevin. They don't, because Star Wars is it's like there's nothing Kevin can do for them that they
obviously they need him if they hired him for a movie.
But I don't think that's the thing. I don't think I genuinely don't think nothing's gonna come of it though. Like I don't.
But my thing is this: look at his track record, and that's just no shade.
As a producer, director,
right? I'm saying like as a producer and as somebody who set up here and gave us Infinity Saga and all that great shit. And yeah, we can all say that it does not.
Give a structure.
Yeah, it's the structure. I'm saying I think they brought him on because of his structure, like how he can structure out a franchise. And I wouldn't be surprised if his movie does well, he does not get greenlit to be the head and structure out some shit. Just saying.
Yeah, because I feel like they want to know how he makes like all the Marvel movies cohesive. At least try to. I feel like that's what they want. They want to actually make the Star Wars franchise, series and the movies cohesive with each other, as opposed to, making this one here, making this one there. I feel like they want to tie everything up. Tie everything together in a more cohesive way.
Yeah, I mean, this will be very interesting to watch because it looks like I'm the odd man out.
No, you're not the odd man out. I get it. Like I 100% get where you're coming from, but I also, like I said, I'm just looking at when people hire people. They're looking at resumes and looking at what you have done to get to what your name is and what you have produced or what you have, So I'm looking at it as in if he can structure out Marvel the way he structured out Marvel, I wouldn't.
I mean, I agree. I agree with that. Like I genuinely agree with that. I just with Star Wars, they're a lot more cutthroat than Marvel fans. So a lot of the stuff that Feige might have an idea for, if it flops, then they're not going to be nice about it, or they're not going to hold their breath until it drops on Disney Plus and then apparently just say how bad of a movie it was written and then all of this other blase stuff. Like they'll let them know in real time, and that might affect it. That might affect how he views moving. Like that might be just a one-off deal or whatnot, But again, it definitely seems like I'm just like the pessimist in the situation, which is fine. I'm okay with being that because I dare y'all are making valid points in and of itself. I just think that You know how there's another franchise out here in these streets that say they got that had a lot of
talk about it.
that.
Nope.
I'm not gonna name names. I'm just drawing the comparison, guys. Just drawing the comparison. You know how they had a lot of stuff announced and people attached to it. And things that were going to come from it, and they were so confident that this was going to happen. And as I sit here, it's not. So that's all. That's the only comparison. That's the only thing I was going to say for context. So that's it. Nobody else got. I wasn't going to go into the in-depth detail. I was going to just.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Nobody. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I mean, because if you are a better compare, no.
But say, y'all, we running up on an hour.
Right.
10
All
minutes.
right.
Any closing thoughts, remarks?
No. I got some.
Oh my God, corny, man, boo, tomato. I'm throwing tomato.
Well, shit.
Why are you giving Obi-Wan tomatoes?
I mean, that's y'all. So from Quamon Star G, he says Obi-Wan is worth the watch. No, it didn't break canon. No, there were no plot holes. No, it didn't frame Anakin Skywalker as a sociopath. You're just misremembering the movies. No, it did not make it so Leia didn't know, or blah, 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 or whatever the fucking case is. No, Reva was not a bad character. No, it wasn't convenient or plot holes because of her backstory. It's called planning it out and being forced to watch episodes on a weekly basis. So your speculation runs wild, and therefore you're disappointed when it doesn't happen immediately. That's the difference. Disney should stop putting weekly shows out. It's not television. And yeah, he said hello there in the last episode.
He did say the thing. Yeah, I think Obi-Wan was a really good experiment because they're obviously, going to do more things like this where it expands on. I mean, Rogue One was probably, the OG experiment, but this is like the next step in what they want to do, and I think it works. It works.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like it caught my attention when I was, when I was watching it, and it did what it had to do.
I enjoyed it. I loved it. I appreciate them bringing my Ace Spoon Coon. Let you get to see him in a new light. I appreciate. Oh my God! Everything. I love him. But I enjoyed it, and I don't hate Obi-Wan. I do have some little nitpicking, but
you ain't gotta lie.
It is.
Oh,
I don't hate him. He an old
He
man that need a cane. He better start using that lightsaber as a cane.
And before we go, can we just say James Earl Jones is in his 90s and he is still voicing the fuck out of Darth Vader? Like,
epic.
You were warned what defeat would bring. I will suffer your weakness no longer. And I know I got that line wrong. I don't know why I've been saying suffer, but the point still stands. Avia's point still stands.
Period. He is the king.
mm-hmm.
Yep. But in any case, we ran about a nice 30 minutes longer than we anticipated. But that's what happens when we talk about things we love. And
I'm saying more lukewarm about it, but yeah.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.